right.
What up?
What's up? We're back. We're back live. This is the Beyond Celebrity Show. We're live. Your producer, the man, the legend. What's up? Welcome, Miguel.
All right. What's up, everybody? Happy, like Kevin just said, living that quarantine life, Corona life.
Corona life.
So our special guest, I'm gonna introduce our special guest is one of my real good friends. I've known him since he was a little boy, and he's a grown ass man now. And he's
little boy.
He's been in a long time, and he's gonna bring value to you guys. Kevin, introduce yourself, and yeah, let's go.
So I'm Kevin Rivera. I'm a footwear designer. Been in the game, the shoe game for, I don't even know, since I was 7 years old. I mean, collecting shoes, but designing shoes in the industry for about 10 to 11 years, 10 plus. So definitely, man, just know the ins and outs of the industry, the fashion industry especially.
So tell some of the people that don't know who you are, Kev. What are some of the companies that you worked for, and what kind of titles you held for these companies?
I mean, I worked for JCPenney, Sears, Jack Threads, all those companies. I was lead designer and product developer. And recently I was at the Greats brand, which is a New York bred brand out of Brooklyn, and I was the design director there. But now, just recently, I just started my own design consulting company called Random Design. And it's just a design firm, a design house that focuses on, executing product or executing ideas for all you guys out there. So we you make your dreams happen. You know what I'm saying? Make your dreams come true.
So I was just talking to Miguel about it, right? You're like a one-stop shop. Let's say I'm just a random Joe, and I just come in and I want my own line of clothing, like the whole nine: clothing, shoes, hoodies, all kinds of stuff. Like, what would you do? Like, what would be the first step? Me coming in with you, like, what would you do?
Well, I would definitely have, a phone call. Well, now these days you have a video call, phone call, right? You can't be in person no more, and formulate something of a conversation that ties back to your idea, right? Like, and your brand or your idea concept, right? And from there, I hear what your idea is, and it's almost like getting a tattoo, right? Like if anybody got tattoos out there, you go to this tattoo artist and you look them up and on IG, and you say, hey, oh, he's dope. He's got a lot of following, whatever, etc. And you kind of go to them and kind of say, hey, I have this idea. Either it's like somebody that passed away or whatever, and they formulate the idea and make it come to life, right? They either tell you, I can't do it, or I can do it. How can I do it? How long it takes, price, right, etc. So it's the same for me, but instead is product, right? So a lot of people out there don't know, like, well, there are resources out there, right? There's Google, right? Google has everything, but people are lazy to do the research.
Yeah.
And it's not like back in the days when we had our like creative dreams, right? And we didn't know where to go. Now we can search for all these factories and resources, but they would come to me and I would do all the legwork when it comes to sourcing the factory that's going to make it, pricing, and then I do all of the design work, communicate with the factory. So there's a lot that goes into the product design area, right? And it's not just like, all right, drawing something and sending it to somebody to make it. It's all the back and forth that goes back in between it, right? Like, does it fit right? Does the sizing fit right? Is it comfortable? Does it look good, etc.? So and this process depends on what you're trying to make, right? So if you're trying to make a shoe, there's a different timeline when it comes to that, right? So it could be a year, a year and a half, 2-year timeline for footwear because of, the process. When it comes to fashion or clothing, I should say, it could be 6 months, 4 months, 3 months, depending on if you're doing a screen print on the shirt, should be shorter. So everything kind of has, its timeline, its rule of thumb. And I kind of walk you through that and kind of make the product or the client feel safe and feel like he's not just spending money on, a long timeline that, just somebody just sitting there not doing anything, right? So it does take a lot of time, these things to, communicate, right? Because you're communicating with, wherever you manufacturing, if it's China, Italy, Portugal, Vietnam, wherever you want to manufacture, I'm giving you those templates as well. So if you want to manufacture in the States, I got you. If you want to manufacture in Vietnam, in Asia, I got you. If you want to manufacture in Italy, in Europe, I got you. But you got to understand as well that all those places come with different price points and craftsmanship and timelines, right? So it's a lot that goes into it.
So for me, I and I've seen this with you before. You did a lot of merch, right? Besides doing like clothing lines for people and stuff like that. How would you go about, because I know you did it a bunch of times, especially with big Spanish artists. How would you go about doing like merch for, like, let's say, like an Ariana Grande or somebody just come to you and they'd be like, oh, Kevin, I heard a lot about you, do my merch. Would that be a different process?
It's all I think everything is kind of different, like rodeo process, right? I think when it comes to that, it has to be, first of all, it's like, how are you selling this, stuff? Like, do you, where are you selling it? Do you have the responsibility to sell the product first? How much product are you making, right? And how much are you allowed to make? Because if you make too small, then you're not making enough money. Or if you're making too much volume, right? Then how do you react to sell this product, right? So is it like a tour? How many days? So you gotta kind of like separate merchandise the product with the state or with the venue, and then making this product. You have to find a proper resources that are gonna do the job right and get the job done on the right timelines. Okay. So all that has to be kind of like measured and have to be built out months ahead, because you have to have the proper channel that's going to build that for you. And as well as, you have to be true to yourself and say, hey, you know what, is this artist going to sell X amount? Because you know what, that's you putting all that money up front, and if it doesn't go, doesn't go right, then you're sitting on all that product, right? So exactly. Hopefully you are with an artist that is also gonna be responsible. The manager is gonna be responsible as well, because the manager is the biggest, focal point of all that, right? You communicate with the manager and the team, not just with the artist. So, the artist has to, be able to put the stuff on IG Live or or YouTube, etc. So there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just like, again, designing the product, right? And the design area is more pitching to the artist or management, right? So I'll show a couple of graphic, artboards for like a keychain, a hat, a hoodie, a t-shirt, a long sleeve, depending on the season. If it's warm, a tank top, and got women's and men's and kids, depending on the
Wow.
category.
So how long would a process, like, walk me through like one of your clients, right? Let's say un reggaeton dude, right? Reggae artist in the Spanish world.
Reggaeton,
people that know the reggaeton, right? How long was that process from A, they coming to you to do it, and B, the thing is out in the thing and you inside the arenas and stuff like that? Like, what was that like type timeline wise? Like how? Like,
I mean, I think the timelines, like, for instance, I was working on We Sing, We sing is a reggaeton artist like been out for God knows, maybe like since I've been born, maybe. but or maybe 20 years. Let's just throw that number out there. But reggaeton global icon. And I did just was working on some merch ideas for him. A couple of maybe a year ago. And the toughest part about it is it's tracking them down, right? Like, you're in New York, I'm in New York, right? And I have to meet with this guy when he's in town. And sometimes it's like you gotta just throw everything you're doing at the moment down and kind of go meet up with him and kind of try to engage with him, right? And it's there's a lot, right? Because all these artists, they have trust issues, right? So, if you're somebody that's new, they got to trust you with their business, right? And trust you that you have the vision that they want, right? So communication is key, and it takes time. Like just communication wise, to get a presentation in front of him, probably could take me 2 months just to get in front of him, depending on where he's traveling to, unless he wants to, pay for your flight out to where he's at, and then you go meet up with him and do a presentation. But sometimes their schedules don't align with yours. We're gonna meet up at 6 at X hotel in New York. Okay, cool. You're planning all this. Then all of a sudden it's like shut down because his wife wanted to have dinner. Pop up. So then another month goes by. So that all takes time. And then you pitch the idea, and then he wants to change the idea up, right? He's like, oh, wait, I like this, but I want to tweak. All right, cool. So that's like another week, So then I got to wait another time that he comes to New York. So that's maybe another month. So it's 3 months, So it takes time. So then you got to deal with the manager, how much, percentage is going to go to him, to you. And, so it's a pain, to be honest. It's a pain in the ass. Excuse me, ass dealing with artists and celebrities. Like, to be honest, we all love celebrities out there. That's our thing. But being able to design for them is not the easiest thing. It's not. But of course, that's what we love to do, and we, and that's how we get our exposure. And they do their part to help you out, to help us out, to get our stuff out. So all these designers, they want their stuff on all the illest celebrities, Exactly. But it's not easy, guys. Trust me. I know. And it's everything is kind of like we spoke the other day, right? Like about getting, with this Corona time you have right now, if you're a creative talent, I mean, and God forbid you get laid off, right? You're in a laid off, recession right now. And, if you have talent, man, and you have the tools in your home right now to create something for a celebrity, or just free-willed, not expecting a like, not expecting money, not expecting anything out of it. You're just doing it just to do it, right? Nope. And sometimes there's designers out there, and I won't name them, but they've gotten opportunities like through just doing things out the norm, making a leather jacket for Rihanna. Boom. Now he's like one of the top 10 most influential African American designers. Wow. So, and he may not have, again, and he may not have put each, stud on the jacket, but he thought about the idea, and he thought about how to just get it on Rihanna. Yep. And that just pushed the envelope. You think about Jerry Lorenzo and Fear of God, and how he put stuff on Kanye, and that just shot him up. You know what I'm saying? So celebrities are a huge focal point of it, and you sometimes in the industry is not easy, right? So you're gonna deal with headaches everywhere, not just celebrities. You got to deal with factories, you got to deal with clients that just don't understand. And so I'm here talking to you guys right now, and I'm probably like sounding like this nerd, right? Speaking, because I'm so passionate when I speak, and I'm like, oh my God. But there's a lot that goes into this stuff, man. And the problem is, like, a lot of people are not educated. They're just designers, that they just draw. They're creatives, and they're not creators. And I consider myself a creator that can just follow through from beginning and execute to the end and put it into market.
So what would you do? Like if you had somebody following you up the ranks, right? Somebody young, like 17, 18-year-old, day one, what would you school this person that looked like they have potential and they followed you through your, like when they were younger, they were like, Kevin, I want you to be my mentor. Like, what would be the first steps would you tell them to do to get into that mode, into that zone?
Well, look, the first thing I'll tell, and this is why I have a couple of things going on right now that I'm trying to give back to the community, YMCA, mentorship programs, and teaching at my alumni school, FIT, Fashion Institute. But I'm trying to also give my story out there because, I got a Jordan tattoo tatted on my wrist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been a Jordan head since I was like yay high, Nike head since I was yay tall.
Yeah.
And
we're gonna get into the Jordan story after this though.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But I've always wanted, to be Tinker Hatfield, which is, Tinker Hatfield is the focal designer for Jordan, from Jordan 3s to 17s and 18s and 19s, right? Whatever shoes, right, etc. But he's the guy, right? So I wanted to be that Nike guy. I wanted to go to Nike. I wanted to go to Reebok. I wanted to go to Adidas. But things sometimes don't work out the way you want it, right? Like sometimes it's either like, you get rejected, right? Or you don't want to move out of New York, right? Or you have a kid, you know what I'm saying? Like family. So it's not the end all be all, right? If you don't get into one of these big places, these Nikes and these and Nike Reeboks, right? Pumas, whatever. There are a lot of opportunities out there, like small companies, startup companies, that I've had the pleasure to work for, and literally I became that guy because of that place, right? I wasn't
like resume building.
Yeah, resume building, but like building your experience.
Yeah.
Because you got Nike, you're gonna get in there and you're not gonna design a shoe from full scratch, man. You're gonna design a shoelace. You're gonna color up a panel. It's like a car designer, right? Like car designers don't design the full car. Like you're responsible for freaking, a rim.
Brakes,
you know what I'm saying?
Brakes and shit. Yeah,
the brakes. So, people think the dream is Nike. Don't get me wrong. Being around all that is dope. But to me, being in New York is even better. Because if you're from New York and you learn the hustle and grind of New York, and you go to Portland, Oregon, where Nike's at, people scared of you, man. Those designers over there are scared of us. So we learn, like, not taking away anything from Nike designers, but like we learn, like I learned how to design a shoe. Breaking up. Hello?
Miguel sounded like Kanye West.
No.
He sounded like T-Pain.
I did. I'm
I was like,
I thought he coming out with a record. Like he had
I was like, yo, Corona? New Corona? Yo, we about to make it out here.
What's up, Miguel? Talk to me, Miguel. Yo, Big, you sounded like Optimus Prime.
Yo, he's breaking up. He's breaking up crazy.
I was saying that soul creative industries are like that. Like you.
Oh man, we losing him.
We losing
CPR.
Yo, we gotta do a little CPR, Kev. Clear.
He sound like E.T. when they had him in the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah.
Phone home, baby.
Yeah, you're gonna kill me. Yo, I know what he's gonna want to. He probably trying to ask about just the industry. Like what would you I don't know. Like, what would be the first step as far as like schooling? Would you tell them to go to school, like college and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, So, go to school.
Does it have to be FIT? Does it have to be?
No, you got Parsons. You got a bunch of schools out there that have programs, for industrial design, right? Like, I didn't get taught that, right? So I went to not the wrong program, but like I went to fashion school and I took accessories design. So I did like handbags and all this type of stuff. So I was like, what am I doing here?
Were there other guys in that class?
Let me just say, I was the only guy that walked the road, bro. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, industrial design is the major that you want to take because it goes into product design, right? It goes into designing all types of products. So industrial design, Parsons. I mean, there's just a bunch of schools. You got to look them up. But if you're in New York, Parsons, FIT, and I forget what other schools have it, but yeah, there's a bunch of programs. Pensol's a new one that just came up a couple of years ago that focuses on footwear though.
Wow.
And they give you scholarships, and the founder of it, he used to be a Jordan brand designer.
Wow.
He just developed his own school, like his own like college, footwear design college. So it's pretty dope.
And that's out of New York? That's out of New York?
That's no, I think that's in Portland, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's in Oregon. If I'm not correct, but there are definitely like outlets out there. But I would go to school, and get your degree, because these days your degree matters. That paper,
especially in your field, right?
Yeah. And I would tell you to either go online and just kind of like study YouTube and etc. how to sketch correctly, and use the programs Illustrator and Photoshop that are recommended for footwear design, right? But what's gonna drive you, man, is passion, man. Their passion and hunger, because if you don't have that, people are gonna outwork you out there. So you gotta hustle, you gotta network. Networking is huge. And I would tell them to network and find somebody to look up to, man. Just that's the key, a mentor. I needed a mentor, and I had one, and thankfully, yeah, I for him, he taught me everything I knew, and I know now, I should say. So that's what I'm trying to do now, is give back. And if any of you guys out there, definitely, or girls, DM me. If you want a mentorship or you want any advice, I'm definitely here for any questions, man.
Mig, you good? You good now, Miguel? I think
I don't
Miguel
know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. So basically, what I was saying is all creative fields are like that, right? Like,
well, you got dial-up, bro? You got the dial-up? You got the AOL dial-up?
Yo.
I wanted to work for Disney.
Back to you. Back to you.
When I started working.
Yo. Yo, Mig.
You on that lean stuff? What's up, bro?
Yo, Mig, that's not, like, I didn't hear one word you said, brother. That's not, well.
Back to you.
Yeah, brother, but even yeah.
Damn, man. Yo, he's out here.
Now, even in the celebrity field, right? Like to learn and to get to the level that I got to, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Yo, he's still going.
Go. Yo, that lag is crazy on that. He definitely. Miguel's nickname is gonna be T-Pain. That's it. He's T-Pain.
Yeah, bro. He's coming out of nowhere, bro.
That's crazy. So even in the celebrity field, bro, like to get to the level that I got to make high six figures, you know what I'm saying? It took a lot. It took a lot. It took a lot of backstabbing. It took like people backstabbing you. You know what I'm saying? It took a lot
Of
of
course.
trusting, you know what I'm saying, and locking it down that you got to look at life as like you at school, right?
Of
Like,
course, yeah.
you know, like you got to learn from everything, right? You got to learn from, you know, the ups, and you got to learn from the downs.
And
You know
downs.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like you went through it. You know, everybody goes through it, man. Like you know, you gotta fight for what you want, man, out there. If you're not, then people are gonna eat off your plate. So yeah, that's the main thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I had so many barriers, man, when it came to, you know, I'm Hispanic, right? You know, and back then, I don't know if you remember, I used to have long hair.
yeah,
I had
yeah.
cornrows,
Yep.
like, you know, White Iverson and stuff.
Yeah,
Um, but I went through racial, you know, racial issues, right? You know, being in the footwear industry and, you know, people just being stereotypical. Like you have a knife on you, you have a gun.
really?
People tell me that in corporate workplaces, man, as
Wow.
in internships and stuff. And I went through a lot of that as well, you know, and you know, people told me as well, like I'm never gonna be anything. I'm never gonna be shit. And I had to kind of endure all that and kind of make that into a positive, right? So it's not easy, man.
Let's see Miguel's back. Miguel, talk to us. What's up?
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
He's out here. He's in
back.
here.
Jordan 4-5.
Not to play games.
Yeah.
My computer's something's going on, but can you hear me?
Yeah. You good. You good.
All right. Keep going. Forget about me. Just keep talking.
No, you had questions you had to ask. We rocking.
Oh, basically, what I was gonna ask you is, what is a good amount of money do you think people need to know they need to spend before they start a clothing line? Because I think a lot of people come and be like, I want to do a clothing line, but they don't really understand what it costs.
It you know, it's tough to answer that question for you because again, it depends. It depends on what you want to do, right? Like you got cut and sew, you got screen printing the t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? Like
let's start, Kev, let's start like the basic. I'm talking like I want to do a shirt line and I want to do some shorts. You know what I'm saying? And they got a logo. You know what I'm saying? Let's like do a basic, and they got the screen. They already got that in their head what they want for, and they like, Kevin, I want a clothing line.
How many shirts you? How many
Let's
shirts?
say
You
4 pieces, 4 different colors, and the same with the pants.
You know, I think to be honest, you know, at least $3,000. Wow. You know, $2-3 grand. You know, depending, you know, on the, you know, you got to think about. You know, that's why I tell you, like, it's hard for me to estimate and give you an estimate off the grab, right? Like, it's because, like, you know, you got to look through short quality, you know, it goes higher in price. The shirt quality goes higher. Where are you getting it from? You know, each color is a different price. If you're a bigger guy, like, you know, wear quadruple X's, that's a different price. So, like, you know, those things vary. But I think at least $3,000 to be good to start, you know, screen printing and stuff like that. You can do $3,000 to test the market out, right? Like I threw out some shirts and some shorts last summer, and you know I probably threw out like 150 pair of shorts, 100 shirts, 100 shorts, and just to test it out, just to have fun with it. And you know that right there cost me, you know, $1,500 to $2,000 just alone. Wow. You know, but the profit that you make out of it, you're making sure, right, that you're creating a hype for it, and then people are gonna pay for the price that you're marking the price up, the margin, right? You know, like you gotta make
that
sure
money you have to throw it back into the business so you can
you throw it right. Yeah, it's not to spend on yourself. It's not a one, you know, because you're not. What's the whole point? You don't want to throw it back in and make more merch and see what works. The whole point is like seeing what sells. If that sells, then you're gonna bring it back and then bring some new stuff, right? And the stuff that doesn't sell, then obviously don't remake it, right? Or if it's a slow seller, but it sells out, you're like, should I bring it back? Maybe bring it back a little smaller, less this time, you know? So it's a lot. You have to, basically merchandise and just think it out, right? But I think $2 to $3 grand, we should be fine. Cut and sew is a different story, like, because you got to make patterns and you got to get all that stuff stowed up and probably like 10 grand at least, 5-10 grand, depending on what you're making. Shoes.
And
That's
how about marketing now? Marketing now is a whole different ballgame, right? Because the internet, social media. What would you recommend? Because right now, what I see in the clothing line industry is mostly it's a marketing game.
If you don't have marketing behind it, then there's no point of you bringing it out. Because, like, if you're not getting exposure on it, then who's gonna see it and buy it? Like your family members? Like that don't make you like successful, right? The support is always gonna be there from your family, friends. Don't get me wrong, but like you want people that you don't even know to like be like, yo, this is dope. I'm buying this. So
what would you tell a like Cesar said earlier, a young version of you, day one, I want to make a clothing line. What are the steps you would tell them to do? First step, second step, third step, and
somebody's coming to me to make clothes.
Just even if it was you, just advice you would give yourself when you were first starting. If you knew what you know right now, what steps would you take right now to create a clothing line?
So if knowing myself that I'm a creative dude, and a lot of creatives have this creative block mind, which is like you just go ham and you want to do everything, right? I would take my time. And I would develop my brand, and my brand meaning myself, right? Like my vision, right? And I would teach that vision and bring it out in a slow method, right? Like if it's hats, if it's shirts, if it's just take my time. When I did it originally, I was doing cut and sew originally because that's always been my passion, right? Like I love graphic t-shirts like this, but I feel like it's just so consumed. Everybody can just do it, right? Like. So I'm the type of person I always want to think outside the box. So how can I take a t-shirt and make it look different without having design graphics, right? Like if it's a black t-shirt, how can I make the fit look different, right? Or how can I make it look iconic and simplistic without having to add any logos on it, right? So if I would have done that differently, I would have focused on little like shirts, hats, small stuff, and then grew it out, a fan base, build it out, give it to some celebrities, and move on like that. And then if it's successful or not,
So
but I
feel it. So you would start with shirts and hats.
Yeah, shirts and hats, beanies, socks, just throw out accessories, man, too. Accessories are huge. But building yourself is the huge thing, right now it's personal all about
brand. So you say you would say make myself a personal brand and then come up with a shirt and a hat and then go from there.
Yeah, start small. Like the investment is not huge, and there's a lot of
there, right? Get your name out there, you know what I'm saying? Like
get your just throw it on some some celebs that and if you know any, and if you don't, then throw it on Instagram and just whatever, man. See how it shoot your shot. Bet on yourself, and I think it's not a bad idea for anybody to do, right? So if you want to start there, start there. You can also, the other thing too, I wanted to do and I should have done was, invest in my own stuff to make the stuff, like the shirts myself, in my home. Get my sewing machine. I know how to sew. Get a little heat press, the ones like the mall, those Indian dudes in the mall have.
Yeah.
And just like press the stuff, man.
Like run your own shop. Run your own shop at your house.
Yeah, you know how many people are doing that? It's so easy. And now you have the accessibility to go online, send a dude the design, and they send you those vinyl prints. So all you have to do is put it in the machine on the shirt, and that's it. Your design's on. Like they send you the design. Wow. So and it's already on the paper to use. So you don't even gotta do the legwork. It's so easy for you. So a lot of people, a lot of shops, a lot of brands are even doing that because it, they don't want to have the inventory in their shops, or have like 100, 200 shirts sitting there, so they'll just like, hey, you know what? Customer comes, oh, I like the shirt. Can I get it in a large? Okay, cool. Go in the back of the shop, get a black shirt, large, and have a printout, heat press it, boom, there it goes, done. You don't have 100 million of the same shirts in the back waiting for them to sell.
Yeah, that's a big thing. That's a big thing I've seen people make the mistake of. Like you said, buy 100 pieces because that gives you the best deal. But then you gotta sell 100 piees.
Yeah.
What if you?
I mean, yeah, God bless everybody out there and your creativity and your passion and your pride, right? But not everybody likes what everybody wears. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can make something with the Bronx on it, and somebody from Brooklyn not gonna buy it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a common nature. So you have to work smart. You have to work smart, especially right now the economy's hit. So it's even like now we're gonna have to work smarter than what we were doing before.
Yeah, and clothing. People are gonna spend less money on a lot of.
Yo, it's been happening, and it's gonna continue happening. Is that we're gonna continue recycling our clothes?
Yep.
All our clothes that are sitting in the closet. It's just you're gonna wash those clothes and live out of your dryer, bro. Just be all right. Yo, I'm wearing this again Monday. I'm wearing this again Tuesday. Oh, this Jordan shirt. Oh man, I didn't know I have this. Oh, I'm throwing this back on.
Yep.
These jeans. Oh, they're kind of big on me. They're old. They're kind of fat. Oh, I'll take them to the cleaners and taping them up, and hem them down. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna come. It's been, people have been doing that, but it's gonna come down to it more now because people are really thinking about their pockets, man. So it's tough. It's either like whoever's gonna buy Versace just got it. They got it in the bank.
I'm seeing it a lot with like Supreme and a lot of these places that I feel like they overextended themselves. You know what I'm saying? And they've been talking about it right now, that what's next for those companies, you know what I'm saying? Because people can't afford that no more. You know what I'm saying? And even the sneakerheads, right? Sneakerheads is not the same no more because you got a lot of these companies that's buying the sneakers right out and putting it up on like a lot of these like bid networks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So those people that used to go there and wait on lines and stuff like that, things like that is not happening no more. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, there's a pandemic going on, man, and on top, I mean, even before the corona pandemic, I mean, like you know, it's because the youth, you got all these kids buying the stuff, and like even the 10-year-olds reselling shoes, like, so it did something good for the retailers, right? For Nike and all that, they keep making billions of dollars. But for the people that love sneakers like us, like we always love to have exclusivity. When I was in high school, when I can go to Sprint Sports over there and hear the dude, the owner Danny, and I'm like, yo, 2-3 weeks ahead, I had to connect to get Jordans before they drop, maybe a month ahead. And I'm there in high school wearing a pair of Jordan 11s before they came out. And not everybody had the plug for it. You know what I'm saying? And you used to pay him like $50 extra. You know what I'm saying? The inflation kept going up. Inflation went to like, shit, now I got to spend $100 to get them 3 weeks ahead. No, now I got to spend $200. Oh, no. Then, reselling came about, and it was, that's it. It's a wrap. The $200 was like $500, $600. Then the inflation bubbled and it popped. So I just feel like after a while, people were like, you know what? I'm not gonna buy a $500, $600 sneaker anymore, because they're making these shoes every week. They got 3 different colorways a week, and they're abusing it. So in some ways it's kind of good, and some ways it's bad, because the Yeezys died pretty fast. and it's because the exclusivity went down. But that's what Kanye wanted. Kanye wanted everybody to have Yeezy. He's the one that made all that boatload of money. He's fine. He's chilling.
The brand. So Michael Torres said, Kevin knows before you make eye contact in New York, you make shoe contact. Check the fit. So I don't know if you know Michael Torres, but he just came on and said that. Trying to get questions from the fans. If anybody has any questions about merch, ask Kevin. But what one of the questions I always, because I work with people that have fashion brands and stuff, and especially right now, what advice would you give someone with the brand right now, knowing what you just said? The economy's tough. You know, we can't even go outside. So like, how do you move in the next 3 months with a clothing line? What would you do?
Oh man, what would I do? To be honest, I think for right now, if you can't really go out, right? I don't even know how long this is gonna last. Let's just say. I think everybody's been doing it, right? At some, like, they've just been doing like workout videos, like their talent, putting their creativity and talents. You got DJ, D Nice, having 100K followers, like killing it, right, on live. So I just feel like everybody's doing a cooking live thing, like they're cooking. I'm like, I don't even know you cook, but everybody just showing their expertise in some way. So I think they're building their brand. They're building that brand up. And I think
right away, Kevin, right away. I'm already, because you're talking, and you know how I get, right? I get formulated. Yo, bro, you should just show people what you can do, right? Mm-hmm. This is what we're doing right now. This is the future, right?
Yeah.
You know, content creating, right, Kev? Like show them what you can do, right, Kev?
That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. You gotta do 20 push-ups, you do 50 push-ups, show people you do push-ups. I don't know. But like, you gotta show. If you can sketch, draw, shoes, like create artwork, and do that. Like, I mean, imagine, like, there's ways. Think about video games have clothes.
I know, that's crazy. That's the craziest thing.
You got My Park got clothes. At some point in time, you're gonna be designing for My Park.
That's the next level, like designing for gamers, for their guy on their video game, and designing their clothes for the guy on the video. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Like, imagine the video game in your world and everybody's wearing your brand logo.
Oh my God.
Because you got VR. Like, I just bought that Oculus VR thing, and that joint is mind blowing, bro. I'm making.
I'm gonna tell you something. My sons do. They play this game called Roblox.
Oh yeah,
Roblox, and literally people buy shirts. Like you can have a design, and millions of people will buy a shirt for like $1, and Roblox pays you. So like that's happening already.
That's
right
coming,
now.
bro.
You know, these kids are doing it. Like, I told my son the other day, you need to make your own shirt.
What we got better to do, bro?
NBA 2K, the guys, they go to the store and they buy shirts with money that they bought into the game with.
Yeah, you trying to look fly to play a video game.
That's what's crazy. You
know what I'm saying? Call of Duty's gonna probably do that. Like, you know, they just invested in that Warzone or whatever. It's like a Fortnite. And they have that. So you imagine, make your own camo and etc. I mean, it's just a lot. But I think right now it's about brand building yourself, like thinking.
But back to what you said, then it's really about, because if you got, then you put it. So like, it comes down to branding. Hello?
Yeah. I hear you now. A little bit.
Oh, you got to come back. back to me.
back to you. But
that's the truth, right? It's becoming. You got to think outside the box. And with you, Kev, because you're so nice with the design, and especially you was changing the whole game with greats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I already saw it, right? with you, because you younger and you understood the young demographic, with greats, you was killing it with the shoe game because you was combining, what was out there with regular shoes and sneaker combined, and people were eating it up. And I was like, you about to take it to another level. And then of course, if you were the CEO or something like that, I seen where you could take it.
Yeah,
We're
of
talking about
course.
this all the time,
Of course. I mean, yo, at some point, this is why I'm ventured off into my own, like, because the only way to make, like, yeah, you can make it on your own, right? I'm not saying that, but at some point in time, like, and that's why I always think about, like, and I'm not being racist right now, but like, I think about Asians, Indians, right? Like, they all help each other out, right? And I've always had this thing about, like, Latinos, African Americans, right? We always want, not that we're selfish, but we want it for ourselves. Yeah, we want the limelight, right? We want to do it on our own. But man, sometimes we always talked about this, and even you and I talked about it years ago, was making the Avengers group, right? Taking that Avengers, like, the strengths. Each person has a strength, a talent. Take that talent and combine it and make your own company.
Yep.
Because what's gonna happen is that all these companies are gonna come to you because you guys got a strong crew.
Yep.
And if you just unselfishly play Golden State Warriors basketball with design or whatever you did, you win championships.
Yep. Amen, brother. I know.
And there's not a lot of that out here. Everybody's spending for themselves. You know what I'm saying? So imagine, like, Instagrams are gonna probably develop IG Live plus 5 people on it, right? They're gonna have 5 people instead of 2 people, right? I don't even know they have 3 capable right now, but to be able to have a whole group of people like Zoom does and all these other chains, but that's what Zoom's eating right now, because Zoom's like ahead. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that another place has done it before, but right now everybody's on Zoom, right? Because Zoom's, the capabilities on that is user friendly, right, for everybody. And groups can be on it. But I think that to be able to have your group and actually design or create ideas with your friends or your family members that are talented, and eat together, that's where you're gonna prosper. That's the next level.
Yeah,
that's the next level. And think about it. I'm not giving the blueprint for everybody, but I'm saying to you is that, this economy is crashing. And when we come out of it, when we come out of the coronavirus, I mean, there's gonna be jobs available, of course, because there's so many layoffs. This is the worst in history, right? But the bubble pop. So that 150,000, 300,000 that you would think you're gonna make, you're not gonna make that. You're gonna make, maybe 100K, 80K. You're gonna have to go down in salary. But if you form a group and they don't have to pay Social Security, they don't have to pay benefits, if they just pay that design group, right, of talented designers, that 150K, you guys are all eating. You take 20 projects, 10 projects, 15 projects, you do the math. You guys are winning. We're winning. So that's always been, I think that's what's gonna happen, and hopefully this is what everybody's gonna learn from this, like, this whole situation is like, you're not just gonna make it a success story overnight anymore. You can build your own brand, but helping each other out the way we doing this right now, this thing, you hit me up like, yo, you got me here, appreciate it. Like, we helping each other out. So I think all in all, like, that's the lesson I would teach these young guys is like, yo, be humble, stay humble, network, build your brands, and then don't be fearless. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to fail. You will fail, you will fall. But if you believe in yourself, you definitely gonna make something out of yourself, And I think steps to it. But, yeah.
Miguel, you good? You good now, Mig?
See me? You hear me?
Yeah.
I hear you.
So I guess tell us where to find your work like where people can find you, websites, clothing line links, whatever helps you promote.
Well, right now I'm just doing most of everything on my IG, but I have a platform. I'm a co-founder of a online creative platform called atlica.com, which is ATLICA.com. And any designers that are on there, and any factories and any people that want to create, if you log in, make your own profile, you can definitely get your whatever work done. What we were talking about today was the process, right? Getting stuff done. How do you get stuff done, and all the information on how to get your product made, or get a designer, a creative designer to design for your for your brand. Everything's on there. So I made this
So
platform
it's
4 years ago. Atlica,
so it's
Atlica,
ATL
ATLICA,
O oh,
ATLICA.
got it.
Yeah, Atlica.com. And I mean, that to me that's my future passion project that I've been trying to do with some partners of mine, and that we footwear designers as well. And we wanted to bring a user-friendly way of communicating, because everything's on the through the internet, right? Through online. So if you don't have to meet people face to face, you just do it online. You could chat with the designer, pick out the designer or the portfolio, and chat with them, figure out the price, the pricings for it, and just communicate via there, and everything's safe and user friendly.
Wow. So right now, what are you working on?
So I'm the lead designer for one of my clients that came to me. It's a brand called Nira. We're supposed to launch. I mean, I say we're supposed to launch in August, but Italy's right now is all messed up. All these factories all messed up. So production is it's kind of delayed, but we're launching, let's say, September. These sneakers are this is a prototype of the shoe.
Wow. Wow.
There's a taped up pattern though, so that's it's part of the process.
Working your magic.
How to fix up the shoe. But the finished product is sick, and I don't have a finished product right now, but on me, but this shoe is dope. I mean, it's gonna be probably a $400 shoe, so expensive. Wow. But it's gonna be limited, and we're gonna sell it online. And it's to car enthusiasts, right? So the design from the shoe was made off of like sports cars, like Lambos and Bugattis. So the shape is super fast, like lines. And if you look at the grooves and everything is very sharp. So that's when I sketched this shoe out. My client came to me and said, "Hey, I love sports cars. I'm from Hong Kong. I love sports cars." I was like, "Okay, cool." I said, "You have some?" He's like, "Yeah, I have some." I was like, "Okay." So you know what you're talking about. And the dude could not stop talking about the history of every car that he loved. And so I took all that information and started drawing, and went to the sketch lab and just came up with multiple designs and concepts for them, until we came to one that we really loved, and sky's the limit from there, right? What do you want to manufacture? Italy, okay, cool. Had to go to Italy, go manufacture, go develop the shoe over there, and then the full process took about a year and a half to 2 years.
Wow.
There's some hiccups along the road, so ideally it would take a year if we knew what those hiccups were before.
Yeah.
But I had the pleasure to work with them, and they have me on board.
How many shoes they're gonna come out with?
For right now, this is model 001. So and then they have a model that's more clean, kind of like great looking, just clean silhouette, and so they're focusing on those two styles, but 3 to 4 colorways, And this is where you can't get too greedy, right? Like you don't want to put too much money there. You want to see how it works, to see if it sells. It does. All right, you start building more, but you don't want to build, a lot of shoes and then you sit on that, right? And then your company's done after that, right? Because then you got to go put them on sale, and there's a wrap after that. So it's all about marketing. Their marketing is huge. They have a marketing team on it. So I think it's gonna go well. It's gonna go well.
Wow.
So, and I'm working on some crazy sketches now. For some future future stuff, like for fall and stuff like that. So kind of give you a little glimpse of it, but this is like a boot that I'm working on right now.
Nice.
And then I'm working on, just because I feel like people are gonna be at home for a while, so like a slip-on, a slip-on joint. So just working on just ideas, man, ideas. So I work on all this stuff on my iPad, and just create what comes to light. This is a Kobe tribute sneaker that I was like, oh man, if Kobe was still in the league, I would. And he came to me with a design or idea, I would have done this. So, but yeah, just creating, man. That's I love to do, man. I love to, create designs and draw and sketch and free the mind, man. Because you don't do that, then you're not gonna get anything done, man.
Yes, sir. Amazing, Kev.
Yeah, man. Thank you. And this is the sneaker closet. Quick, just to show you a quick glimpse of the sneaker closet. One of my sneaker closets. But yeah, this is nuts. So, and Cesar knows.
I know
how many years it's been going for.
I know.
You got to do it. We'll have to do another episode for this.
That's true. But before we end this episode, Kevin, I called Kevin up and I was like, yo, Kevin, Michael Jordan was at a restaurant, right? So I was like, and remember Kevin didn't believe me. Kevin was like, yo, see, don't play with me, man. And he's like, yo, I just got home.
Too. I was like, damn.
I just got home. I know. He's like, yo, I just got home. Don't play with me, man. I was like, yo, Kev, you got about 45 minutes. Yo, Kevin, come now. Jordan. I just kept reiterating, Jordan, bro. And then he's like, yo, should I bring a jersey so he could sign? I was like, I don't know, but we don't get these chances all the time. It's Michael, right? So Kevin's like, F it, I'm bringing the jersey. So Kev came. Kev, I ain't never seen nobody from I dropped the phone to somebody arriving to the.
I took a cab quick. I was like, I grabbed a sneaker and a jersey. I was like, yo, I'm trying to hit the grand prize, bro.
So we waiting for Mike, and I'm looking at Kevin. Kevin's sweating it up. Kevin and I've never seen Kev like nervous and stuff. So Kevin was like a little sweaty. He's like, yo, you think he's gonna do it? You think he's gonna do it? I'm like, I don't know, Kev. Like, I don't know, but we're gonna take the chance, right? Like, F it, right? So I dealt with Michael before. Me and Michael got like a love-hate relationship, but it's not more hate. But like, I'm probably one of the only people that I could talk to on video, and he'll probably talk back. I got him about 5 different times, but in this case, I was more nervous because Kev was there, right? So I was like, all right. So when he came out, he was like, yo, Mike, can you sign this, Michael? And then Michael kind of looked, he was like, I forgot what he said to you. Either he was with his wife.
My wife.
Yes, that's what he said. He was like, yeah, I'm with his wife. And I'm like, come on. Mike, come on, just come on. Can you sign? And then he got in the car. Then we followed the car and stuff. He went to his hotel. And he kept looking around, right? He just kept looking around, trying to ignore. And then he was like fake talking to somebody. He wasn't even saying words. He was just like, and then Kevin was like, yo, come on, man. Can I get a picture or something? But the good thing is we're paparazzi. So we got a picture of him with Michael next to each other. So.
That was the closest I could get, you know what I'm saying? And I remember I was like, yeah, this autograph's for my son.
Yeah, he pulling out all the stuff.
Like 6 years old, like he don't even know, like he know who Michael Jordan is, but he don't care. You know what I'm saying?
That was crazy. But that's not gonna be the only time, brother.
We gotta do that again.
Yeah, we're gonna get another shot at it. We got any questions, Mick?
Can you see me? I'm behind.
Yeah.
My internet is like trying to kill us.
No.
I think it was nice to meet you. I've heard about you for a long time. It's good to see some designs. I like the way that work looked on the iPad. I think that's cool to see. Yeah, I think right now as a designer, your message is good. Hey, your message about building your brand is everything that I believe designers and most people need to understand. Like, build your personal brand, tell your story. Right now, all we got to do is stay home and tell our stories. And even that's what we're doing right now with Cesar.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think it was good. Yeah. You know, any final words to the audience?
No, man. Thanks for the, I want to say thanks to you guys for the opportunity to be on here, man. And I definitely, it was a pleasure. Definitely we got to do it. We got to do it again.
Yes, Kev.
But yeah, to anybody that's out there, again, like, reach out on my IG, or you can email the Atlica page. And any mentorship, ask me any questions. I'm open book. All right. So I'm here for you guys.
And in closing, of course, having Kevin here, bringing value to you guys. That's what we all about over here on the show, 100%. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. Love you guys. Peace.
Later.